Hi, everybody. It is September 16, 2024. Mic is working. You can see me. I'm going to have to share the screen properly, maybe today. How are you all doing? It is quite the time. Yeah. So, hello, Alicia DeMoss, GeoFactor 3. Tony Punch, thank you for sharing the information, Tony. It is much appreciated. Crazy Pots, James B., Andrew Cruz, hello. And did I say hello, Sandra? Hello, Sandra. L, hi, thank you. And Phil Strange, Maximus. Did I get your email? Nope, I did not get your email, Max. Let's see, Michael Mossberg, hi, BMCC, Bourbon, Ohio. Hello, Julie. Jay Northrup, Jay Wooms, hi, Justin Wynn. Analog synth player, Shauna, Tony Bello, hello. So, I do hope you're all okay, because more and more are not. And it gets to the point where you just get really tired of going on. Toughen up. A whole lot is going to be coming our way for sure. Kim Blanchard, hello. Okay, we have severe weather going on. We've got this in Kansas, little line of supercells. Got Idaho with supercell action right over the Nevada border. I did it again. You have to admit, I am consistent. Right here over the Nevada border, they're having thunderstorms. Up here in Minnesota, North Dakota, Kansas. A weird happening down here in Florida. Wow, okay. You have all of these that literally disappear and then whoops, manifestation of nanobots in a different area. These disappear. Wow. Minute they disappear, you got a whole new manifestation. And it looks like South Florida is having quite the time with thunderstorms as well. Look at all of these frequencies cursing through this so-called weather front. Panhandle of Florida, Alabama, right on the coast. And you have all of these. What is this? What is this configuration that we are looking at? Yeah, okay. Nice square. Incomplete square. And of course, the air masses are going in well, you have all of these. Yeah, I do believe that they are nanobots. New Mexico, Arizona, into Colorado, into Kansas, going in a northeasterly direction. And you have this right up here that is going in a, well, I don't know, a northwesterly direction, because it just seems to level out right along the border of Nevada, Idaho, into Oregon. Lots of flooding in North Carolina. Look at the tail. Look at this tail. Now, I said, what is this like blob of precipitation last night that was sitting along the coast? Well, the coastal areas of North Carolina got flooded, and this is the nanobot tail. Yes, they're calling this a tropical storm. Oh, okay. Well, tropical storms look very different today. So, okay, is this still active? Let me refresh. And yes, it is. Tornado warning in Carteret and Onslow counties in North Carolina. Be very careful. 8 miles southwest of Morehead City. And severe weather warnings for Idaho, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, and Oregon. All righty. Well, you got the counties in Oklahoma are Major and Woodward. North Carolina, Carteret and Onslow. Idaho, Oregon, Aoyi, Idaho, Oregon, Malheur, Minnesota. You've got Kitson, Marshall, and Russo. Be very careful. Boca Raton, you've got a strong thunderstorm warning, special marine warning, coastal flooding. Okay. The link to the severe weather alert site is in the chat. Be very serious about checking these things every day, because the sudden manifestation of severe weather is a happening thing, and it's happening every single day. Okay? Okay. So, tropical storm. Okay. Once in 1,000 year rainfall event from an unnamed storm floods homes and forces rescues in North Carolina. Oh, really? Okay. An unnamed storm once in 1,000 years. North Carolina certainly has seen flooding like this. Floodwater surged into homes, stranded vehicles, and forced water rescues in coastal North Carolina Monday after a tropical storm-like system dumped historic amounts of rain on the area in a matter of hours. It's probably the worst flooding that any of us have seen in Carolina Beach. Historic. 18 inches of rain fell there in 12 hours. At one station, a once in 1,000 year rainfall event. Don't look into weather modification. Believe all of the horseshit you hear from mainstream media, from those mainstream media meteorologists who are claiming it's climate change. Because mainstream media doesn't lie to us. Look at this. Brunswick County. It continues. Tropical system floods North Carolina. Carolina Beach. Isn't that cute? Look, the system was overwhelmed. Still overwhelmed. Hardly any water. No rain, but hey. And this here, Southport, North Carolina.
I am here in Southport, North Carolina, where we have a flash flood emergency, and now a tornado warning is in effect for this area. And you can see behind me, cars are stuck in the floodwaters here. Every little low water crossing that I've come across is flooded out right now, with bad flooding all across the coast from Carolina Beach down here, Bad Head Island, Southport, as well as Oak Island, and the rain continues to fall here. And by the truckloads, is absolutely dumping and pounding the North Carolina coast as this potential tropical cyclone makes its way here into North Carolina.
You know, you can pay attention to the alert site. Severe weather coming your way. You can maybe hope to get a forecast, and you can't rely on it anymore. Did anybody know that this storm was coming to North Carolina? No. No. How about another water main break shooting up, firing forcefully on a New Jersey home?
State Farm. Hi, thanks for calling. How can I help?
In front of 62
You're not going to believe this.
Drive, which is a residential area.
We got coverage for one shingle.
To look so much worse. Just
why is the water main like?
30-inch main broke. It is literally
is it normally
this
pointed at houses like that? It seems kind of crazy.
Rate of speed. What
my homie did a meme of this and said, "I should call her." They should use this for like testing shingle types. Like this looks weak.
If you've been with me for a while, you've seen a lot of water main breaks that now are shooting directly at homes. Edgewater, Florida, also saw 6 to 7 inches of rainfall. Flooded streets and yards in Volusia County neighborhood.
Got it pretty bad out there. Yeah, Luana, we're in the Florida Shores neighborhood. One woman invited us to show us what a soggy mess her backyard is right now. I'm actually trying to walk carefully just because some parts are well over ankle deep, and you can kind of see a river is sitting right behind her home. And she actually tried digging up a path, kind of like a trail, to redirect the standing water just so it has somewhere else to go. And the mosquitoes are out here. We can kind of smell like a mop water sense. She thinks it'll be days until all of this dries up. She's lived here for about 6 years, has never seen it this bad, and her neighbors tell us the same.
We were all praying, oh my goodness.
Streets covered in water, mailboxes almost drowning, and some people canoeing to get across. The images taken on Saturday after Volusia County got 6 to 7 inches of rainfall.
We went through the hurricane, and other people, I'm sure, has post-traumatic stress because of what we went through with that. And that's what everybody thought, that's what was going to happen.
Renee Sortman and her Florida Shores neighbors in Edgewater felt helpless after the 4-hour downpour.
It has been exceptional in the last year, but a lot of it, I see that it will go down, but it doesn't go down fast enough because it's disintegrating. These creeks are disintegrating. They're not kept free of debris.
We have, I'd say, approximately...
We have a problem. Our relationship with our government officials is not working very well. How about 60 agencies working to contain unbelievable a medical waste that has shut down beaches on the East Coast. Okay, yeah. 60 agencies working to contain medical waste affecting Maryland beaches. not only Maryland, why is it just Maryland? It's not only Maryland, as FEMA assesses disaster potential. 60 state and federal agencies working on Monday to try to contain an onshore wash of medical waste, including hundreds of hypodermic needles, feminine hygiene products, along with other debris, over the weekend along the coastline from Delaware down to Virginia. Over the weekend, the debris, it's a mix of general trash, medical waste, syringes, wood particles, plastics, feminine hygiene products, washed ashore on beaches, towns, and parks along the coast. Are you getting the sense that literally everything is breaking down? Texas is running out of water. And this is the commissioner, the agriculture commissioner. It's running out of water. No, it's not. No. Look into primary water. Okay.
Commissioner, welcome to the program. Texas is fast losing this natural resource of water here. Are leaders in the state taking this seriously enough?
Well, I certainly am. I mean, it's been an issue for me for 10 years. We lose about a farm a week in Texas, but we're not running. We're 700 years before we run out of land. The limiting factor is water. We're out of water, especially in the Rio Grande Valley.
Is that why we're losing farms?
It is. It is. We lost an entire industry of sugar production. Sugar cane is gone from the valley. The last sugar plant had to close because the farmers couldn't get enough water to raise a sugar cane. We pushed out 6,000 acres of citrus for lack of water. A lot of people, especially in that part of the state, blame Mexico not fulfilling their treaty. They're supposed to supply us with so much water. We share the water in the Rio Grande, and that's basically the only water down there. There's not sufficient groundwater to supply the cities or the farmers. But it's my view is we got to quit complaining and do something about it. We got to
quit complaining. What's the solution? Okay, well, it's all part of the New World Order agenda. And unfortunately, it's a lie. If you don't know anything about primary water, look into it. There's an awful lot of water below the surface. Water is not just from rain up above coming down, but there's a lot of water underneath. Okay. Oil and gas. What this is just I think 18 miles outside of Houston.
Right in here. Give us a sense, the network of pipelines. What are we looking at here? I mean, how intricate are these networks, these system of pipelines across our area?
In this part of the world, there are pipelines everywhere, and you can see by the video that you're showing. I've got it up on my screen here. I'm not really ignoring you. I'm looking at my other screen. This is a big right away. You can see a power line there. Typically, what happens, and especially in highly populated areas, they'll combine right of way. So they'll have a pipeline, they'll have product lines, they'll have power lines, all in this same particular area. Number of utilities on it, including power and pipelines. The way the fire looks with the smoke, it looks like a product or a crude line, not natural gas. Natural gas doesn't tend to burn that dirty. So with the black smoke, I assume this is a product line. This is a pretty serious fire, obviously, and they should be able to shut the pipeline off. I'm not sure why it's been going this long, unless they're having a hard time getting to terminal valves. Each pipeline system has valves where you can close in case there is a leak. So it must be either a long distance from where the valve is, where this fire is, or they haven't been able to identify which line it is yet.
Bob,
It's too dirty to be natural gas, and yet What do we have here? A natural gas pipeline explosion in Houston. Okay. And I don't even know if they've turned off the fire yet, but it was blasting for a very long time. Chico scrap metal fire again, Chico, California.
Breaking news: for the second time in the last 3 months, a fire has broken out at the Chico scrap metal yard in Durham. Action News Now reporter Alejandro Mejia shows us what happened.
Today, Butte County firefighters responded to the scrap fire around 1 p.m. at Chico Scrap Metal in Durham. CAL FIRE Butte County Battalion Chief Jordan Hale told me 30 fire personnel responded to the call once CAL FIRE Butte County heard the fire break out at the business. Battalion Chief Hale told me some of the work crews are doing to find out what might have caused the fire.
Fire everywhere. Fire everywhere. It's, and houses, boy, they are going up in smoke. Sun Valley residents evacuated during garbage truck fire, California.
We are following breaking news now. Let's get right to Mark Liu at the breaking news desk.
Yeah, hey, Amy. So what we are looking at here, live pictures from SkyCal. We apologize if the signal breaks up a little. We're still trying to get this signal established because SkyCal is just getting overhead. But what we do want to show you here is a very dangerous situation for firefighters in the Sun Valley area. What right there that you see at the center of your screen is a dump truck that is currently on fire, but there is a very important component to this dump truck that is worrying firefighters, and that is that it is fueled by compressed natural gas. Now, the driver of this dump truck was able to get out safely, but did hear what he described as a loud hissing noise, which they believe is an indication that this compressed natural gas is venting into the outside air. Now, the LA City Fire Department has set up a 300-foot perimeter around this dump truck and has begun evacuating homes in this neighborhood because they are very concerned about the possibility of this compressed natural gas igniting and possibly exploding. Now,
all righty. Okay, sweetheart. And yeah, there are so many closures now of small business and grocery stores and closures all over the country. But when you talk about small towns and they lose a grocery store, it could be the only grocery store. The deprivation of services, especially in small towns, it's a happening thing. It's another way to just squeeze people to the point where they just say, I can't take it, and let's move.
In Frisco City Friday night has destroyed the small Alabama town's only grocery store. Residents now have to drive to the next town to get their groceries, causing issues for people who don't have transportation. As WKRG News 5's Haley Kennedy explains, the mom and pop store is more like a second home to everyone in the community.
A heartbreaking sight to see in Frisco City.
This is a tragedy.
After these flames destroyed the town's only grocery store Friday night.
The next thing I know, just fire goes up into the air. I just heard boom, and debris was falling down and everything.
10-year-old Jacob Chambers watched the store go up in flames, the same place where he and many people in town would get their favorite meal.
10:15, you probably can't hardly get in the parking lot because ready for that chicken.
Macaroni, mashed potatoes, and chicken.
Just knowing that we can't no longer get our chicken, that's just real hurtful.
The grocery store is still smoldering Saturday evening as customers pour into the parking lot to check out the damage.
I mean, like I said, this is the only grocery store that we have.
The next place to get groceries is the next town over, about a 10-minute drive from Chandler's. But not everyone in Frisco City can get there.
Because a lot of people don't have rides. They don't have cars, you know, and a lot of people walk to the store. So this is going to hurt the community real, real bad.
Customers say they lost more than a grocery store, but the staple to their community.
We come, they love my kids. We was like family, you know, and it's more than just a store to me and my kids. They treated us like family. They knew us by name when we would come in.
The owner tells News 5 that they plan to eventually rebuild. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
There's a lot of investigations going on in our country, but why is everything going up in flames? Dozens of homes in Rolling Hills estates. Okay, so this is the Ranchos Palos Verde area of California, which I have included in live streams, several live streams, about all of these people losing their homes to the land shifting. Extremely low frequencies can shift land. But now a couple of weeks ago, about 150 homes there lost electricity. And then they shut down the gas. And now there's more homes losing utilities.
Ground in the Palos Verdes Peninsula is expanding utility shutoffs to a new neighborhood this morning.
Dozens of homes in Rolling Hills estates will have their gas turned off today, and many will lose electric power by Wednesday. KCAL News reporter Tina Patel is live in Rolling Hills, where some million-dollar residences will shortly lose gas and go dark. Tina, this is becoming a tragic and familiar story in that area. These people are going through so much.
Yeah, and nobody really knows when this will end. You know, where we are in Rolling Hills Estates, it's several miles away from Ranchos Palos Verdes, but homeowners here are being told that they're in the same situation as those on the edge of the peninsula and that they are going to have their utilities shut off. We have some video that shows the neighborhood that's going to be affected today. There's more than 30 homes in Rolling Hills that are going to have their gas turned off at 3 this afternoon. And then Southern California Edison has told more than 50 homeowners that they're going to lose power sometime between now and Wednesday. And these are indefinite shutoffs. Homeowners don't know if or when their service might return. The utility companies say this is all a safety issue because the land in this area keeps moving. And we've seen that several homes in both Ranchos Palos Verdes and Rolling Hills have been damaged over the last year because of the land movement. Many roads have buckled. Still, homeowners are frustrated because many of them say they're not being given enough notice to come up with any contingency plans. City officials here in Rolling Hills asking both SoCal Gas and Southern California Edison to aggressively look for engineering solutions so they can provide service here to customers here. Now, as we come back out here live, there are a lot of organizations and city officials that are trying to do what they can to help those.
This is only going to spread, right? The loss of electricity, the loss of gas. And we won't know whether it's legitimate or not. Right, yeah. So the airport fire in California took out another 10 homes. Last night it was 150, now it's 160 destroyed homes. But man, do we have a toxic country.
These guys were strong, robust, healthy. These guys were strong, robust, healthy Native American men, and to see them succumb to cancer is devastating.
For decades, widespread illness and deaths from cancer have plagued members of the Shoshone Paiute tribe along the Nevada-Idaho border.
You go to the emergency room, they say, yep, it's cancer. Sorry, we'll see you.
It's long been suspected that chemicals leaching out of buildings owned by the Federal Bureau of Indian Affairs were causing the diseases. According to the EPA, gasoline and battery fluid were among the toxins poured straight into the soil by workers at the buildings, one of which has been since demolished. But the discovery of a decades-old document points to the possibility of another dangerous set of chemicals that may have been used along the canals that run through the tribe's land.
Just recently, told to us that there may have been chances that they've used Agent Orange, to spray along the canals. If that is true, that could be one of the reasons why we're losing the people that we are.
Health experts say they can't directly tie the chemicals to causing cancer, as genetics, lifestyle, and other factors often combine to form a diagnosis. In a statement to the Associated Press, the Bureau of Indian Affairs said it has extensively studied soil and groundwater on the reservation since 1999 and has cleaned up wells used for drinking water.
They can write a million apology letters. It's not going to make a difference. Bottom line is, I'm still going to run out of days sooner than I should have. Same with everyone else that has cancer.
Documents obtained by the Associated Press show federal agencies are working with the tribes. The Bureau of Indian Affairs says it's evaluating the use of chemicals that make up Agent Orange on the reservation.
This is my mom. She passed away from cancer at the age of 58. It didn't surprise me that when I found out that the BIA did the Agent Orange in the canals, because it's like they don't really care. It's like, who cares about these people? Let's just do it.
Yesterday was a sad day. You know, I lost my dad, and he was quite the man. You know, we all meet together. We're all like family, and we take care of each other.
Agent Orange. Wow. Haven't heard that for a while, right? Well, we're all on the reservation now. We are all on the reservation now. So let me see if I can get to. Yes, here. Real Fishing Life. And I have recommended Real Fishing Life, Portugal fires. Here come the winds again. I think he's very shadow banned, because it's remarkable that this man gets so few views. 1 hour ago, 44 views. Something's not right, but let's listen. And I'm going to scratch me. Yeah, I think you'll have a better view. All right. Fires. Listen up, Portugal.
It is a sad day, my friends. Good evening, freedom fighters. It is 4:24 p.m. Eastern Time, September 16th, 2024. We can only pray for the ones that's being attacked in Portugal at this moment. Thank you to the warriors that have shown me this information. Girl on your screen, everybody, please show me this kind of stuff, and I will try to research the truth. Horrible fires taking place, and I will show you when they lit these fires up. Their technology cannot be hid from their technology. And as a commercial fisherman, I have studied very small machines my entire life, like studying the bottom underneath the boat, looking for fish. Very detailed analysis in my own life. And I can also put that work onto these evil ones that is burning everybody. My family helped put up the first generation Star Wars system. And the new one they're putting up daily here in Florida, in the United States, and other places they send up these rockets is the new Star Wars system. Stand by for the information. It's truly incredible, and how they lit these firestorms off. As a born again Christian, I am not able to really put God's words in speech very well, but I want to offer a prayer. Y'all can pause and read it. Very powerful to me. We must realize that the devil's greatest trick was to make the world believe he does not exist. But we are under evil deeds, whatever y'all want to call it. It is evil what is going on here. People will be murdered. They are being murdered. World War III has already started and nobody's even noticed it. It is not tanks and lead bullets this time. It is very powerful technologies that has been hid from the world, but I know all about it. My family helped work on computer components for the Star Wars system. It's been up there a long time, but the new one's very powerful, and I have been completely shut down because of this information I share. This is from 1985. They already knew all about it that long ago, but no one has been told the truth, except for in your video games and movies. If y'all really want to know it, they have told us the truth, but y'all think it's just a movie. Here is real-time data of these technologies that's live right now, and here's Portugal and Spain. Yes, Starlink satellites are right over these areas with no problem. I'm not saying they have anything to do with it, but how about these? There's way more than just Starlink out here. That's Web 1, that's the government's. And here's our GPS that actually navigates my boat in your car and your cell phones. But this is Web 1, and these are Starlink. Soon to be 42,000. Right now there is 6,949 up there. Crazy technology. Nobody hardly any knows about. This is not just for you to have internet service on a mountain, trust me. Very unusual radar signals coming out of Michigan and Wisconsin and Michigan. Look at that right there. That's a later video though. For anybody that wants to check that out, let me know. Okay, now we're done with all the evidence. Usually I would show at the end of the video, but we'll show what they did. This is this evening there. It's already dark there right now. Oh, that was this morning. Here's this evening. You can see how many they are, and I'm going to show you at night where these lasers went off. They lit it up at night, so I can't see the steam, but I can still see the lasers actually working. It's white flashes. But they lit all this off. I can show you where it lit this, all this. And it seems to be squares when they light off. I've never seen this before. Thank you to the warrior that showed this information, so I have some evidence to look up. You know, I'm able to look at it and try to find out and learn things as well. But let me show you what happened through the night. All right, this is at the crack of daylight in Portugal. A little bit after, it's 3 a.m. on the East Coast time, because this is not a flat planet, it's round, so it's different times of daylight when it rises, when the sun comes up. But let's crack daylight here, and you can see the massive fires taking place with like white flashes a little bit with it too. Did a white kind of flash in there. That's the heat from the fire. But that's the daytime loop. Let me show you the nighttime loop. And these flashes, I stopped it on it. That's a rectangle. That's a rectangle. And that's exactly where these fires happen. I believe these white flashes are the lasers right here. Something's just weird about it, you know what I mean? They flashed, they went away. That's only a few minutes, that's 5-minute intervals. Something's weird there. There and there. Picking up something. Steam, heat, light, whatever it is. And here's where the other fire is taking place. Something is going on here. And as soon as daybreak happens, all these places where these flashes are happening, poor people, I really pray for them. But where all these glitches or whatever, and I think it's heat, too hot, trillion-watt lasers is what they've talked about. Well, it's weird. It's hard to see. It's all blurred out compared to what it would be in the United States. But these are massive fires, guys. And this isn't near the quality as it is on HD.
Okay, so the link is not, it's not working. Okay, the link to A Real Fishing Life is in the chat. So come over and give this man some support because he's been on it and he's posting very, very important information. So, okay. It's up to all of us to share, to circulate, to get the word out, right? All right. We're going to do migrant stuff right now. And wow, a whole lot is really happening on the migrant front. And I'm going to first start with this that was sent to me by a subscriber. Yeah, FBI visited my house today for free speech acts they knew were not crimes. In other words, for Jeremy's posting, right? It's not just happening in the UK or maybe Australia. It's been happening here for a long time.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hey there, Jeremy?
Yeah.
How are you?
Who are you?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Can you give your full name, please?
I'm Agent O'Donnell with the FBI.
Is that sufficient to identify as the only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification, or I'm going to go back inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my...
Oh, this is going out right after you guys walk away.
So that's why I'm not going to...
So you can show me your name or ID. You can walk away.
We just want to talk about it.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Okay. Well, you see our badges.
I need to see. Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name, or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going online as soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to be the one that made it.
I want to talk to you about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making six figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right? Like you're familiar with. So then why would you come?
Because we wanted to make sure that there weren't any.
No, you're coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken, and that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away because nothing we did is against the law, and you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today. Go home and think about it, you cowards. Drive away. Drive away.
Thank you for your time, sir.
You're not welcome. You should be embarrassed. Embarrassing. You guys are embarrassing.
Who are these people now? Who are they? Are they actual FBI agents? Are they really? Or are they just like hired thugs that walk around with an FBI badge? I mean, if it was so important to go visit Jeremy, why did they just, well, thank you for your time and walk away? That seemed a little odd to me, right? But that's what we need to be doing. We all need to be Jeremy, right? Right. Yes. Good job, Jeremy. Very good job. So, we've got a problem, man. Oh boy. Western countries have a real big problem with all of these migrants who are causing an awful lot of violence, an awful lot of assaults, awful lot of crime in Western nations. Fake African asylum seeker in Germany threatens women with a stick, destroys cars, attacks police.
Wir haben so geschlafen. Der hat so eben geschlafen. Na, so viel Zeit. Nee, dieser. Hey! Was soll ich sagen? Was soll du das sagen? Du hast das Telefon aber so. So, da geht der nach. Let's diese Bitch muss raus. Oh, okay. Wallah, niemand da. Ich suchte diese hat er nicht. niemand da diesen Chaos. नहीं चाहिए هذا موجود هنا لازم ما تحكيش مع خبط هذا موجود هنا ترى في الشام تقول لي كذا يبرر الزبده هذا ما يسبب الزبده عمر Yes,
Wow. Wow. Could be crisis actors. Okay. So Germany now is beginning to impose a little stricter enforcement, their border policies, because Germany has really been having a big problem with these migrants for years.
Has begun imposing tighter controls at all of the country's borders. The government says the measures will help tackle illegal migration and protect the public from threats such as Islamist extremism. The controls within what is normally a wide area of free movement, the European Schengen zone, will initially last for 6 months. DW's Lucia Schulten reports.
From Monday onwards, border checks like these will become more frequent in Germany across all 9 countries with which it shares a land border. Situated in the heart of the European Union, Germany already has temporary checks in place along its borders to the south and east. But as of now, broad checks will also be introduced at the frontiers to the west with France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Netherlands, and to the north with Denmark, for an initial period of 6 months. As a member of the free travel Schengen zone, the German government had to notify the EU Commission of its plan. The Schengen zone consists of most EU countries and some of its neighbors. Founded in 1985, this area...
Okay, if you want to see, I lose my pointer on my mouse. What I don't like all of the things that I have to go through that I didn't have to deal with before, but now I do. Good, you're back. Well, if you want to know the history, you can click on the link. Whether they're crisis actors or not, a whole lot of people are suffering the consequences of them. What does it matter? I don't understand that has been going on for like a decade. Oh, they're crisis actors. Everybody's a crisis actor. Does that mean that you shouldn't be worried? Those cars that had their windows busted, that didn't happen. Did it happen? So I guess it doesn't matter. I don't get it. ICE cracks down. Oh, in Nantucket. Wait a second. ICE? Massachusetts is a sanctuary state, but not really. Not Nantucket, the ritzy island. Cracks down on violent illegal migrants on Ritzy Island in Massachusetts. Okay. Sanctuary state. We've heard police say there's nothing we can do because it's a sanctuary city or a sanctuary state. We can't call ICE. ICE won't do anything. But if problems arise on Nantucket, you know, where Obama has his very, very, very expensive home, well, then ICE will come in. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement made an unknown number of arrests in Nantucket, Massachusetts this week for immigration violations, specifically targeting violent offenders. Well, anywhere else? You're on your own. Nantucket Police Department revealed that ICE agents had contacted local Nantucket officials on September 9 concerning their planned arrival on the island. The arrest warrants were specifically for violent offenders. We ain't going to have that on Nantucket. No. There's a lot of very wealthy people who live on Nantucket. People are hiding in fear, and that they might be here for them, even though most don't have a criminal record, but for the mere fact that they are not legally here. It has caused panic for many. Martinez, Esmeralda Martinez, it's a local resident. Oh, so she's admitting that they're not legally here. I thought all migrants now were legal, right? And I thought that they were just fabulous for the United States, for the economy, you know, for diversity in communities. Arrest warrants specifically for violent offenders. Oh, sorry, you know, places like oh boy. Springfield, Ohio? Is it Springfield? Ow, my brain just sideswipes me all the time. Yeah. So here she is, pledging to release the illegal migrants who are in detention centers. First day.
Hi, my name is Sally Hartman. I'm a volunteer with the Center for Worker Justice. I want to know, when you become president, would you be committing to close immigration detention centers?
Absolutely, on day one. On day one. And thank you.
What, pray tell, does that involve? Day one, detention centers shut down. ICE no longer obsolete. Are you gonna like, before closing them down and allowing all of these illegal migrants out on the street, are you at least going to vet them from the detention centers? Because you didn't when they crossed the border. And what you going to do when they come for you? Because Kamala has an awful lot of security. Holy shit. Yay, close those detention centers. But how many videos are out there with people who are, just randomly interviewing those who are pro immigrants? Come on, welcome. Yes, we love you. And when they are asked, well, would you open your home for migrants who need housing? They all say no. Whether it's in the UK, whether it's in the US, they all say no. No. So if she just allows all of these illegal migrants out onto the street, all those people clapping could open their door and bring those migrants in. Now, I used to say, can Americans be this stupid? But now I just know they are. Feds city to crack down on animal sacrifices in New York City, in Jamaica Bay, which is Queens. Okay. Dog carcass, snap neck, wounded pigs found. I'm not going to, I don't like this stuff. Okay? It's very horrid. Near Jamaica Bay in Queens, animal sacrifices. Okay. It's not just in Springfield, Ohio. I can't. All right. But we have Americans who do these animal sacrifices as well. But now it seems to be spreading. All right. So Councilwoman Vicky Palladino, who I like. All right. She would be, if I was still living where I grew up in Bayside, Queens, she would be my councilwoman. I can't play this video because, well, Twitter just doesn't allow me to play an awful lot of videos. But I'll read her statement. This was today. She posted, meanwhile in Times Square, total chaos, lawlessness. This is what a city run by progressives look like. Criminals with no fear of consequences, because consequences have been completely removed by a city council and state legislature, totally committed to de-policing with zero concern for public order or safety. Think it can't get worse? You're very wrong. I think that there was a lot of chaos. I didn't know New York City had street takeovers because New York City is kind of tight. It's a tight grid of streets. But so I tried to, find out what was happening in Times Square, and I didn't see anything happening recently, but months ago, there was a street takeover. The cars that do the 360s, I don't know what they're called, donuts or whatever, in Times Square. I was like, wow, now that's brazen. Ooh, okay. But think it can't get worse. Very wrong. New group of far left radicals are preparing to take the mayor's office and promise to make the de Blasio era look like a golden age in comparison to what they have planned. New Yorkers, what are you doing? And again, another video I can't play, but apparently in one of the upscale neighborhoods of New York, I don't know where this is, but here we got this guy on the ground. Oh, so this is downtown. All right. People not from New York don't have a sense of just how fucked up it is to see cars doing this in this part of Manhattan. I didn't even see it, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. All right. No, lawlessness just continues. Doesn't have to be happening, but they're allowing it. Yes, who's they, Carol? The government officials, the law enforcement. They are allowing it because you've been taken over. Now, illegal aliens are being shipped out of San Diego Airport from the cargo terminal using chartered jets daily without the headaches of Department of Homeland Security or customs screenings to a town near you. It's not a headache for Department of Homeland Security. They probably got this together, this whole process. They have been taking airports actually from their own countries, some of them being flown in to our country, where they arrive, come across the border, and then they get bused or fly to some place of their choosing. Not those military age men. I think they have their orders. But when you think about it, really? Did those Haitians in Haiti say, the 20 or 25,000 of them, say in Haiti, you know what? I think we need to go to Springfield, Ohio. Yeah. We need to go to Springfield, Ohio. That's where I want to go. You think they did that? No. No. Your government officials did it.
Luke Slightwaker here, reporting from San Diego International Airport at the cargo terminal. So we came by here a few days ago. We got a tip from a friend that they are doing charter flights out of here with Border Patrol. The Border Patrol buses are coming here and dropping off people where they use the stairs to get right on, avoiding the main terminals at the San Diego Airport.
Can't play the music because I'll get a copyright strike. But here at the airport, you got the border control, and they're working it.
Yeah, okay. I'm a journalist.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
They just want to make sure that whatever he's filming, that he's not a danger. Nothing about the flights that are taking the illegal migrants. Wherever they're going. It's quite amazing, isn't it? These are the buses. A lot of buses. All righty. Okay, so seems purposeful to me. Saudi Arabian Muslim tourist entered a church in Europe, threatened the Christians.
You are Christian? إن شاء الله يا رب تموتين اليوم قبل بكرة. It's a good word in Arabic. Nice to meet you. جماعة وأنا قاعد أشوف الأشياء المعلقة هنا يدي قامت تنتفض والله من الحرارة والشناق. ودك تكسر الصليب كله. Hi, how are you?
Have you information to ask? This is a boat.
Yes.
Of the church.
You want me to pray here for this?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. طب عظم الله يبتكل. آخر عمري أنا تغريني والله في دلاكم على عن والديها. إيش تسوي؟ ما تقدر تسوي شيء.
Oh, what a sweet, sweet boy. Italy, North African migrant makes his son urinate on a police car. I don't think that they really respect the culture and the people of the country that they illegally migrated to. And they're teaching their kids not to respect them at all as well. Yeah. Deport. Black Americans speaking out about migrants who don't speak a word of English taking American jobs. I don't really see what Black American, an American.
No, a Star Spangled Banner is sung in one language, and that's English. Oh, say, can you see?
You can speak
Not
any language
Jose.
because if she
You come to the United States, learn how to speak English. It's not that big of a deal. So she doesn't know how to read. She doesn't know how to write. She doesn't know how to speak English. And you think that's fair? You think that's fair that somebody who can't read, can't write, can't speak one word of English has a lower education than a second grader? Meanwhile, there's Americans who are unemployed and they give jobs to fucking Hondurans who can't speak one word of English. They don't even know how to read. They cannot read a Dr. Seuss book. And you're okay with that. And they got over 10,000 people at Mexican border from Honduras and Guatemala that they're going to let storm into this country. And you're trying to defend that. I'll never defend that. I'll never defend it. I'll defend the English language to the day I die. Please. How is language racist?
because that's her native language. That's how she speaks.
And the native language of this country is English.
That's actually not the native.
Yeah. Okay. Well, times have changed. The migrants are a little different. They've been showing that they're a little bit different than the migrants that we had. Do we even have people coming and actually being immigrating to this country and doing, the actual immigration process anymore? I think a lot of people who have been kind of aware of what's going on in our country, maybe they've reconsidered migrating to the good old US of A. It's not about race. Doesn't matter, Black American, white American, Hispanic American. It doesn't matter. It's about being an American and recognizing that we are absolutely being invaded and the migrants are getting treated better than American citizens. We are the melting pot. Black man in Paris beats up an elderly French couple.
Attends, elle est partie. Ah, bah c'est parti.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît. Merci de ne pas faire obstacle à et de vérifier qu'aucun objet ne s'oppose à la fermeture.
France was overrun years ago. Yeah. Okay, so for all of those who say, oh, well, now the push is to say that there are more Americans committing crime than migrants. Even if that's true, it's irrelevant. Irrelevant. What are you saying, that it's okay, or what are you saying? We shouldn't be allowing illegal migrants into the country who are increasing the crime in our country. And I can't play this which I'm happy about. But African immigrant shitting at a bus stop in Toronto. Toronto's famous square. Okay. Good. Ireland, where I live, 85% foreign nationals.
I'm from Dublin, but I come to Mayo every weekend. But I wanted to talk about what the situation is like where I live, because you have not seen what is coming yet, and I have. Where I live is about 85% foreign nationals. I can walk down the street on any given day, walk into the supermarket, and I don't hear an Irish conversation. I hear foreign people everywhere. My child is one of 30 children in her class, and she's the only Irish child. She came home crying from school a few weeks ago because she doesn't understand what any of her friends are saying. The children revert back to their own languages when they're not being taught. She literally cannot understand the conversations around her. But when Halloween came around there a few months ago, last year she was allowed to dress up. Sorry, the year before last she was allowed to dress up. This year she wasn't allowed to dress up. And when I asked the school why, they said they didn't want to offend people. But I don't go for a walk around the park during the day with my child anymore. I have a big dog and I don't go for a walk by myself anymore. I very rarely leave my house because where I live is so unsafe. And that is the reality that you're facing if you don't make a stand. And I understand it's really, really hard to, be called names and all of these things. But you have to stand up on behalf of your children and the future of the country. The landscape of this country is changing completely. And if you're okay with that, fine, but I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that for my child. Please put your children first and your country first, and just don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah. Americans, please put your children first, your grandchildren first. And this is what we have to look forward to in America as well. A whole lot of people are living what she's talking about. A lot in their communities, they don't want to be going out. They feel unsafe. So, it's really, so UK now is just putting prisoners back on the streets because they claim that the prisons are crowded, right? And what about us here? We've been pretty much doing the same thing. A man sexually assaulted 2 women, killing one, California, near the Venice canals on the same night. 30-year-old Anthony Francisco Jones attacked 2 women the same night. So, Mary Klein, 54, Sarah Alden, 53, mother of 2, just moved to Los Angeles to start a new life. Brutally assaulted and raped. Declared brain dead and died after being in a coma for almost 2 months. This is really, well, it's really only going to get worse, and we know it because Americans just, they don't stand up.
And then all of a sudden, in the canals, and all of a sudden I just get knocked out.
Was it from behind?
I have no idea. My teeth got knocked out. I had 2 teeth knocked out. And
then
my
other
jaw is
ships,
wired, and I have
yeah.
fractures here. He hit my face.
He punched you.
Yeah,
Bashed your
he
face
bashed my
in.
face in.
Yeah.
as well as other elements about the attack.
I think he was trying to kill me. I think he tried to kill me. But I'm very tall. I'm 6 feet tall. So I think maybe it would have been hard for him to keep me down. I don't know.
Yeah, you're a strong woman.
I know the other girl, she was in a coma.
Yes.
So I don't know how she's doing.
Do you remember him saying anything to you, or just the
No,
poundings, the
I
beating?
don't even remember feeling them hitting. I just know that I was on the ground. That's like getting hit by a truck.
They made an arrest.
Good.
How do you feel?
I was crying because I was so worried about that girl, the other girl, and I hope she makes it. And we're lucky that I survived, and I feel so sad for her, and I hope she's okay.
Let's see, I've been warning of this since Democrats started importing illegal migrants for votes. Look, the presidents are selected. They don't need them for votes. Maybe there's something else going on. Okay. Our biggest threat, yeah, actually, this is what this woman is saying.
As horrendous as it is, our biggest threat is not them eating our animals. Our biggest threat is when the government cuts off their funding and they have to fend for themselves. Mark my words. Take it to the bank. Just saying. As horrendous as it is.
There's a lot of threats that present with what is going on with the migrants. We know that. So I hope you're working on that awareness, your surroundings, who is around you. Do a little, educating yourself on body language, facial expressions. Try to read people, tone of voice. But if you're in an area with a lot of illegal migrants, I hope that you're doubling up when you go out shopping, with somebody, with a family member, with a friend, something, because this is not stopping and it's only increasing. Is rural living safer? That was yesterday's live. So you can listen to this man talk about the problems with living in the rural area. So cities have a lot of people. That's a problem, but also a plus. Cities have apartment buildings where you're up high. You can look out, see. Okay, rural areas, not too many people. That's a plus, but it can also be, a minus. And, I've been pretty surprised at how many people talk about their prepping in rural areas where they live. And I don't think that that was a good idea. I've said it in videos. Don't tell people what you're doing, because word gets around and shit hits the fan, which everybody is so afraid of. Well, you're in a bubble because the shit has hit the fan for millions upon millions upon millions upon millions already. But, things happen suddenly. Even just the loss of a job, Now I'm looking for another job. I can't find another job. I have to feed my kids. Oh, right. My neighbor is prepping. But if you live in a very isolated area and, you know, you're just one house and woods surround you, he talks about the very real possibility of somebody hiding in the woods. You walk out your door and boom, you're gone. Okay, so a lot to think about considering how, well, considering the numerous life changes. And here we go in the UK. Elderly couple horrified with council letter trying to force them to sell home for asylum seekers. Not good, right?
I mean, Ted, what on earth went through your mind when this compulsory purchase order letter came through?
It didn't worry me so much as it did the wife. Then she turned around and she started crying. We had enough problems in the beforehand.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, Josie, how did that make you feel when that letter came through the letterbox?
I was absolutely devastated. We'd only just bought this house. We'd been in here about 8 or 9 weeks, and that came through the letterbox.
And so,
You know,
what? I was going to say, what happened? Well, I mean, how did you respond to that? What did they say when you got in touch with the council?
We went down to the local offices after I composed myself together, after crying and then getting really angry. We went down to the local council offices here, and I spoke to a lady in there. She took photocopies of the letter after I showed her it and was really angry with her. And she said to me, "There's nothing to worry about. It's just a standard letter." And I said, "I don't think that's a standard letter that you should be sending to any person."
Yeah, so describe the contents of the letter for us, because it is quite strongly worded, isn't it? And it suggests that your property is empty. And what do they suggest is it's going to be used for?
They say, as part of this process, Northamptonshire Council is identifying empty properties and sites within the area with the aim of encouraging owners to bring premises back into use or to find alternative options for derelict sites. The resettlement team in Northamptonshire Council supports asylum seekers and refugees across 3 different projects: Homes for Ukraine, Afghan resettlement, and asylum dispersal. At present, we are seeing a considerable increase in positive immigration decisions being made in favour of asylum seekers. So basically, they're wanting accommodation. But who goes around and assesses whether these properties are lived in or they are actually empty? She couldn't tell me, the lady in the council.
No. Well, I mean, clearly, Ted, no.
That local councils, and this isn't just that council, but others, you know, it's kind of like local government here. All right. There's a lot of homeless, and the homeless continue to increase in the UK. So this is for asylum seekers, not taking care of the Brits and the Scots and Northern Ireland, Irish. Really? Okay. Huh. That doesn't seem right. Right? Oh, boy. And yeah, okay, freed prisoner charged with sexual assault at train station hours after early release. This is the UK. Releasing these prisoners, and then hours after, what are they doing? Man freed from prison under the government's early release scheme is alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman at a train station just hours after he was released. You think we've got a problem with our governments? Huh? You think? Yeah, we do. Okay. So we've got a lot of people hurting really badly. Okay. Really badly. And I'm going to go through all of this tomorrow. I'm keeping this window open. But I just want you to hear, for those who have left the United States, they're very happy they did. The food.
Leaving my home country was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. I'm talking mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. Putting yourselves in different cultures is just so eye-opening. Like when you see how people are living in other parts of the world, it forces you to realize what we take for granted back home and what we put too much value on back home. In the US, all we think about is money and other toxic things like status and clout. Making money is very important in today's world, but it's just a piece of the pie. Life is truly just a balance of health, relationships, finances, and enjoyment or entertainment. And I felt like in the US, I was forced to basically abandon my health, relationships, enjoyment just to get in a good financial position. And living abroad truly helped me fix my life balancing issues, giving me more time for what truly matters. So if you can relate to how I felt back when I was living in the US, let this be a sign to get out and travel more. You can always make more money, but you can never get your time back.
Now that I left the United States, this is the main thing that I realized. The United States be bullshitting us. They be literally capping, they be lying, they be fabricating, they literally lie to us our whole damn life. Do you know, when I was in New York, in America, I used to research where to go, how to go to Thailand, how to go to Bali, how to go to all these damn countries. And do you know what I found out? All these countries are very dangerous. Don't even step foot in Thailand because you're going to get robbed. This is the most dangerous place you're ever going to be at. Yeah, I've been here for almost 3 to 4 months. I've been in Bangkok. I've been in Chiang Mai. I've been in damn Pattaya. Yeah, nobody's arguing. Nobody's fighting. Nobody's dangerous out here. There is nobody killing it. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Nothing what the hell they told me that was going to happen in America. And I came over here and it didn't happen. They're lying to us. But one problem is the news. Did you ever realize on the news, when have they ever spread positivity about somewhere? If you are watching the news and it's talking about a different country or a different place, is it good news or is it bad news? So again, if you want to continue getting brainwashed by the United States, if you want to continue listening to the news and listening to what the hell they got orchestrated over there, yeah, you're going to get brainwashed and you're going to be living in the past. I was in Brooklyn, New York. I was in America. I left America. Way much better living, but stay over there if you want.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about America. They love the fear mongers. A lot of people don't travel. Like, they might travel domestically, but I'm talking about they don't get the travel bug, as they call it, to get a passport and actually can handle a long plane ride and just really go out the country for real and travel. So they try to scare us to keep us inside the country for real. They tell us hella lies. They told us that Africa was all slums. And Africa got some of the most beautiful islands. They got beaches. They got all of the animals. They got a whole safari lifestyle for real. Thousands of animals came from there. They didn't even tell us there were so many locations. We just thinking it's just one location, Africa. That's what we thinking. That's it. It's just Africa. Like you just got the United States. One country. Did you know there are 54 countries in the continent of Africa? So how y'all gonna even say that? Everywhere got a hood. If that was the case, we could talk about every single state in America and we could say it's the slums. So we should say America the slums. But this is what they do. They try to scare the 1% of people that actually travel because most people don't leave the four corners of their house for real. Like where I'm from, people won't leave 20, 30 minutes. That's considered far. If somebody stay 45 minutes, you never really gonna see them again or not that often. For real, special occasion. People not traveling and they for sure not leaving forever. So the 1% that actually get the urge to get up out of here, they try to scare them, keep them here. No, we got to reel them back in. We can't let them go. Tell them that, it's the trenches. It's not as nice out there as it is here. When in actuality, that's completely false. And what we deem luxury over there, like for instance, getting on boats, that's just a part of their lifestyle. So they're rich in culture. America is just rich financially. We got the money. You see what I'm saying? So really, they got the real luxury. But I'm saying that to say that's what America like to do because they don't want our people to leave. Because if we do, we're gonna realize we've been lied to. That's really how I go. And I'm not just talking about Africa. I'm talking about they try to scare us from going to any country, leaving in general. They don't want us to go. They want us to suffer here. For real, they want us to suffer over here instead of living a better life over there.
I want to post the link because I like YouTube. Wake them up. The link is in the chat. Check them out.
I've been seeing everybody talking about wanting to leave America and like the US just being the ghetto, which has been the ghetto. And luckily for me, God gave me a revelation and woke me up out of my sleep and told me to leave America a couple months ago. And so I've been living out of the country for a couple months. I knew that the economy was only going to get worse, that things were only going to get worse. And I just like really had to be real with myself. Like, do I want to keep struggling my entire life? Do I want to live a life where I have known nothing but struggle? Or do I want to go somewhere else and kind of take some of that pressure off and start to enjoy life? And my life has completely changed. Like, the quality of life has changed, the quality of food has changed, the way I feel every day has changed, my skin has changed, my weight has changed, like everything about me, my outlook on life has changed. My dreams and goals are not changing, but they're evolving in a better way because I'm closer to my dreams. If you have the urge to leave America, do it. It's definitely easier said than done, but plan for it, do research. I literally got into a mode where I just kind of went silent. I stopped posting, I stopped doing everything, and I just dug into research about leaving the country, and I left. And I'm enjoying it, and I'm gonna go to another country soon, and I'm just really happy. Like, I've had to put some of my dreams on hold, like, and one of my dreams is acting, but you could be an actor at any age. I don't think that God will not allow me to live that dream at some point in my life. But for now, I just am prioritizing my health and my mental health, because people get into that career and they make bad decisions because of their quality of life, because of their thirst to get over to that other side. Because I'm not thirsty to live a life of prosperity, because I am living that kind of healthy and mentally healthy life here. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate for material things or status or this or that, or to be seen by my peers as somebody who's doing well in their eyes. The only eyes that I care about is God's eyes and how I feel in my heart and how I feel mentally. So to prioritize the way I felt, because I was ordering Uber Eats, like y'all talking about how much Uber Eats costs, how much it costs just for them to take your food. Like, it was to the point where it was pushing me over the line. Every time I was ordering Uber and my food wasn't showing up, I was ready to cry. When I would get food, it would be nasty. I would be ready to cry. When I would get food at a restaurant, it would be nasty. I was ready to cry. When I would go to the store, fruits wouldn't be available. Vegetables, I was eating zucchini a lot. Zucchini was never in the store. It was never available. Apples started to be real shiny and feel real, like to the point where it was like, I know it's wax around this. Like, I just mentally couldn't take it no more. The food, the quality of life. I was going out with my friends, and I'm just like, all y'all doing is getting drunk and doing drugs, and I'm sitting here drunk with y'all ass. One time I was walking in the club with no shoes on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We finna be old. Like, and honestly, I should have took that walking in the club with no shoes on to my grave, but anyway, I didn't. So it's like, we doing things, we drunk, we doing all of this to like numb really life. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good turn up. I'm not actually drinking because I'm depressed, but it's like we drinking because we don't have nothing better to do. And like, the life that I want to live, I don't want to live a life where going to the club and turning up is a highlight of my week. Like, I want to live a life where going on trips, going to galas, going to fundraisers, doing this and doing that. Like, I feel like we don't have no purpose to our lives no more, that we just living a life because it's so hard to live, because we got to worry about paying the rent and paying the bills and paying this. And then you got to be ashamed if you get a repo, if you get an eviction, if you get this, when it's so hard to live life. But now that everybody feeling it, people finna start understanding, where it's coming from. But I don't know. I just feel like America is a ghetto. And if you want to leave America, do not feel ashamed. Do not feel like you lost the battle. You winning the battle. America is ghetto, and they tricking y'all out y'all fucking spot. For real.
Jack says fuck these people saying to leave America. No, you made the bed. Now fight for it. You stupid MOFOS. America's gone. There's no fighting for anything. Americans have made their bed. She didn't make the bed. We all made the bed. We can't unite. We're stupid. We're fat. We're lazy. We don't give a shit about anybody but ourselves. For anybody who can get out and live life and eat food that is actually good food, to stay here and poison themselves, with, everybody who's toxic materialism, trying to pay rent, trying to buy food, trying to just basically exist. No. Yeah, we still exist in America. So, and yeah, the country's gone. Sorry. It's gone. And we can thank ourselves for that. If you think this country's coming back, how? How do you even have adult conversation with most of the people in your community? How do you do that? Most Americans are adult children. It's gone.
Through the times, the end times, y'all. I'm gonna keep it all the way 1,000 on this one.
Reasons why I left the U.S. Part 2. The quality of food is bad. There are pesticides on the outside of our fruit. There's wax coated on the outside of my apple. I don't like that. And if you want to buy quality organic groceries, the price is just out of this world. With inflation, prices are already high. Me personally, I'm not about to pay $400 doubloons to get some decent groceries. For example, I can get a 3-course meal for about $2 in Thailand. We're talking about appetizer, drink, soup, rice, audit. Why would I not live here is the question. Everything is fresh. Everything is healthy. Actually, I just drove by some papaya trees. Everything tastes better. Everything is more beautiful. Everything is more colorful. So why wouldn't you do it? Follow me for part 3.
I just moved out of the country from the United States, and it is so much better for so many reasons. And I want to share why. The first is I moved to a country that's more community-based, where people are just overall nicer. Like, everyone here just seems so happy, like they're genuinely happy and not just full of just narcissism. That's what I see in the United States so much with so many people that I came in contact with, is I feel like so many people are stressed out from capitalism and money. So then they are in turn just very mean to each other, and they're not looking at each other like human beings. That's the biggest reason why I wanted to leave. Not just that, but I feel like the United States, they are poisoning our food. I could feel it within my physical body. I could feel it within my mental health. And it's just not healthy to live there when they're putting so many chemicals within their food. So I moved to a country where the laws are actually regulated to the point where they can't use GMO. They can't do certain things with their food. So within being here, I've already noticed with my energy, with my body, with my mood, it's been like a huge change. Not just that, but like the economy within the United States right now is wiping out the middle class, especially with if you are within like 20 years old, you're Gen Z, you're millennial, you know that you are struggling to keep up. I couldn't keep up. I'm sure some people maybe be able to keep up, but I had to sell my house because it was so stressful, and I was running a business that was very, very successful. So I was self-employed. So I moved to a place where they care about the people and the prices aren't outrageous. Like, rent is normal, food is normal. I went to the grocery store and I spent, I think it was $120 for the week for my family of 4 right now. I have 2 children. So I was spending probably over $350 a week, if not more, when you have to get like toilet paper and all the essentials just to get by in the United States. So I can overall say, like, just by being here, I'm happier with the climate. The climate's amazing. It's year round, just like really warm. I feel like the United States, like, they're messing with our weather. And if anyone doesn't agree with that, that is fine. But please comment and like, and let me know if you're on the same thought process. If you have any questions about moving out of the country, I'd love to answer them because I know people are curious. And thank you so much.
Yeah, they're messing with our weather. "10 years ago, I was with you, Jack. I was with you. I'm not with you anymore. Americans have shown their face. On the whole, okay? And if you don't, fit this bill, then okay, I don't know you. But Americans on the whole don't really care about anything. And unfortunately, they don't really care about their own self because they're not doing anything in terms of, hey, let's get community together because things seem to be not quite right. And, we are better off in community. We're safer in community. And nothing seems to be happening here. Nothing. And yeah, I've seen an awful lot of people, an awful lot of videos with Americans who moved out, and they're very happy because they're eating decent food and they're surrounded by people who are not narcissists, and they're just they're happier. They're happier outside of this country. Sorry, Americans, wow. We didn't do it right. And a whole lot are suffering because of that. But how everything, it's not just the failed constitutional republic. It's how we treat one another, how we bring up children, parenting. It's horrible. Look at the school system that not enough Americans care. So it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. The food, well, and I'll never forget, this was about 2 decades ago. I had a friend in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, who was, what was that? I can't remember the organization, but it was, I don't think it disbanded, but it was an organized effort to label our foods. And I said, and it was the fight against GMOs, not a direct fight against GMOs. It was a fight to just get our food labeled. And I said, why aren't you fighting to rid our foods of GMOs? Why do you just want them labeled? She couldn't answer. She looked at me dumbfounded. We don't even know how to fight correctly. There were an awful lot fighting in European countries. And, well, I don't know about now, but they had success. GMOs out. We just want our food labeled. Yeah. All right, let's just listen to this one woman. And if I could, I would leave. I would leave. I'm too tired. I don't feel well, ever. My life got destroyed. I have nothing and no one. I would leave if I could. But I can't. A whole lot are stuck here. And it's not fun anymore. And I also see a lot of people talking about how Americans are miserable. Now, for years, people claimed that I was miserable. I live a miserable circumstance. But I myself am not miserable. And it's so funny to me now to hear because more and more people are suffering the consequences of the evil that I've been suffering for a very long time. And now they're miserable. They themselves are not miserable. They're living a circumstance that has put them into, they don't live anymore. They're just surviving. Well, when you can't get out of survival mode, you break down, you get worse, and you seem miserable. But that's what Americans do to one another. Just judge, kick them to a curb, keep walking. We're not the good people that a whole lot of people are still maintaining that delusion about who we are. It's very sad.
Let me tell you the top 3 reasons why I left the US 10 months ago. The first reason is the food in the US got me super sick. I had a chef, a nutritionist, I was eating mainly whole foods. I was also working out almost 6 times a week. I went to the doctor, I was diagnosed with the leaky gut, and it literally made no sense to me. Every time I would eat out or even eat my own meals, I would be so bloated. I would always have to run to the bathroom because my stomach hurt. I've been traveling the world full time for about 4 years now, and I noticed that every time I was abroad, whether I was in Europe, Central, South America, I never got stomach aches, and I felt so good after every meal. Note taken. Second reason is the work-life balance. I have my own companies that I run in the US remotely. I just noticed that every time I was in the US, the hustle culture completely consumed my work ethic. As soon as I wake up, I got emails and phone calls, and I just felt like this pressure to constantly be on the grind. When I moved to Europe, not only am I 6 to 8 hours ahead of the time zone where my companies operate in, people here work to live. They don't live to work. That energy literally rubbed off on me. So that gives me time to just enjoy my day, enjoy slow mornings, not look at my phone, not answer text messages, really just enjoy my days, completely fill my cup. By the time it's time for me to work, I felt so good, work my 4-hour days, and then just call it a day. No one here makes me feel guilty for that. I'm so grateful. And number 3, as a Latina American, I feel super safe here. I was born and raised in the Bronx. I lived in New York and New Jersey for about 27 years collectively. I have been trained and raised to always be on my P's and Q's, always have eyes in the back of my head, always felt this sense of fear every time I would go to public places and just have the most insane anxiety. With over 630 mass shootings that happened in the US in 2023, I can't help but to think, what if? That lack of peace of mind will never want to experience again. Here in Europe, it'll be 2, 3 in the morning, and I would go outside and not even think twice about doing it. I feel so safe here. You'll see kids running around at midnight and their families just having drinks. Everybody's just having an amazing time. That peace of mind is everything to me. I qualify for the digital nomad visa to live in Spain, but it also gives me the opportunity to live anywhere in the European Union. Currently in France, just checking it out and seeing if this is a place that I want to live. And that freedom and that choice is everything. If you want to learn how to live in a different country for even 90 days just to check it out, I put together a free playbook on how you could do it without a visa, which makes your experience so much simpler so you don't have to worry about the legality of things. Comment playbook below and I'll send it over to you.
Guys,
So, moving out of America for your health. All right, look. Someone just left me a comment about watching the video on TV. Okay, I'm so sorry to complain, but I watch you on my TV and I am unable to hear your posts for a while now. Okay. I do not know what's happening with the audio, but I will say that when I'm playing a video, it's pretty loud. Now, I had the opposite problem when I was using OBS. Now I'm using StreamYard. I don't know. I don't know how to fix this problem because I've asked other people if is the audio okay, and a whole lot say yes, but a few say what Shari, you're saying. I can't. So many people watch on different devices, so the device itself may be the problem. I don't know. Is it YouTube just screwing around with me? Perhaps. But I'm going to ask again. Is the audio okay? Can you hear me and the videos? No audio problems for me. When I play a video, you have to turn the volume down or I blast you out of the room. Well, that's what I was hearing when I was not using StreamYard, but OBS. Now, StreamYard, I've been getting comments from people who say they can't hear me. Well, that's a little odd, Rod. Audio good on iPhone. The audio is fine. Set volume for the hearing impaired. Is that even a possibility? If it is, good mental pancakes. Good advice. So audio has been fine for a long time now. No, it's fine, Sherry. I'm going to be signing off. Audio is perfect. So everybody is having their own individual experience. And it's different. Audio is okay. 5x5. You can hear me great, but maybe not the videos. I don't know. Now 5x5. Audio has been good. Carol is usually too loud. Videos are set too low. No problems. Audio's good. Well, thanks for weighing in, guys. So, audio is fine for you. Audio is fine. You use an audio app. Sounds good to you. And that video gets loud. Voice is perfect now, but others say that I'm too loud. How could I possibly rectify this when so many people are having different experiences? You have different devices. See, the other problem is I'm not living in my own home, so I can't blast the videos. All right, so, and they're loud enough that it makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't think the audio problem is on my end. I think, yeah, adjust. I don't really know what to say. But, you know, I wish things could be better, obviously, on my end. I am absolutely doing the best that I can each and every day, I promise. I promise. Please be that force of good that we desperately need. Be that force of good in your communities. Help those in need. Don't wait for people to ask. Extend yourself. Help the food banks. Help the animal shelters. We're in piss poor shape, and a lot of that piss poor shape has to do with Americans not really caring about others. We gotta reverse that, right? Alrighty. Thank you for showing up. Live honestly and speak honestly. That's the only way out. That's the only way out of this nightmare. On that note, be safe. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Good night. Good luck. Ciao, guys.